Hey everybody, I haven't said that in a while. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone's doing well. I am finally back with another stream. It's been a while. That's literally just because of my current setup, and that's finally getting changed. If you didn't know, pretty much most people when they do YouTube and things like this, they usually have a desk or some sort of normal setup, right? I've never really had that. So throughout literally my almost 9 years of doing this, I've for the first half or over half, no, it'd be probably about the first 7 years or well over half, I have literally just been on my bed with my both computers, both of them, like my first computer and my second computer, literally to the side of it, while I had TV at the end of my bed, which worked for obviously what I was doing at the time, which wasn't much. Actually, let's go on this screen because it'll be a little while till we get into it. But yeah, it was very annoying for my back, especially after doing it for so long. And you know, you would want to be. Jesus, my brain. You want to be like it's comfortable. Never really was. Hey, Flames, how you doing, man? Thank you, thank you. Yeah, nice transition. I love it so much. Might change it though. Might change it, or maybe not. I have no idea. I am thinking about like altering a couple of things because that's what we're talking about now. I'm gonna go back and watch that again. Because I am. Oh, I paid for it. Sorry, Flames. I'm not just going to give that away. Sorry, man. But I'm probably going to keep it anyway because I'd probably make it fit my new style. Anyway. Yeah, I was sitting on my. I literally just been sitting on my bed for about 7 years with a TV screen at the end, and that was my setup. One screen. I've been doing that for so long. Then I got a secondary screen, which changed everything, even though it was a bit lop long. And then now, because I was redoing my room, but then depression, anxiety happened, which means that completely stopped all progress of that. Like it's been like this for months, where just no proper wallpaper and that. So that's going to be changing in the new year, hopefully. But I'm on the floor currently because obviously I've got nothing to prop it up on because it's in the weird middle state of things being like not in here, they're in other places like in the shed or in like little storage containers and things like that. So literally for the past I want to say like 6 months now, I've been sitting on the hardwood floor. But the reason why I'm telling you all this is because I'm finally getting a desk. That was the whole reason why I changed the layout of this room and like redecorating it was because one, to make it my space, but two, to actually have a proper work environment, like not nothing that is just bad for my back. So yeah, I'm gonna have a nice setup. I've already got things like I've already know exactly what I'm gonna get. It's not gonna be perfect straight away, obviously. I'm literally getting it now just so I can have it. But over time, um, like what was I saying? Oh yeah, I just it will change over time. I've got ideas, got plans of what I want to do. So this might be a type of person if you don't need to answer it, but do you have an actual job or you just hoping you... Oh god, no. Okay, right. It's a bit of a sticky one. That I used to, which was fun. It was fine, but I needed to get something a bit more, with more hours. So I did that. I did the first one for like 2.5 years. Ended it on my own half. Not I didn't get fired or anything, which was really like that was nice. It was great. And then my anxiety and depression got like 15,000 times worse. So I got put on what's it called? I always forget the name. Universal credit, and I've other things now, but I got put on a like I needed to go and get like a quote unquote checkup sort of thing. Just to be like, oh, should you be on this? Because there are a lot of people out there who scam. You know, they make up things, and you know they say they have. Most of them say they have depression and anxiety, which makes it harder for the people who actually have that. You know, get believed and all that sort of stuff. So they have this thing in place where you go and get assessed essentially, and I got deemed not available. That's not the right word. I can't remember the word they used. Basically, it's not a good idea at all for me to work at the moment, just because of how bad my anxiety and depression is, as well as other things that make that worse. So, eligible? I don't think that's the right word either. Basically, it's just I'm not allowed to at the moment. I would need to. I think I've got another year of this, and then I get assessed again. Um, and yeah, so it's just because my anxiety and depression is that bad. I'm not the type of person who's like, I'm gonna hope for this to do YouTube to skyrocket or whatever, because I'm not doing it for that. I'm not doing it for money or anything like that. Never have, probably never will. If you know, if it comes on the side, fine, but it's not going to be my main reason. You know, I don't at the moment. Don't at the moment, but oh, sorry, I'm on YouTube. I'm on about. I do have a source of income at the moment. Yeah. Um, so yeah, that's why I'm able to do things like the desk and things, because alongside YouTube and everything, it's going to help me massively with wanting to do things. Because the big reason and the big awful thing, yeah, no, it does count. It does count, especially with like the other stuff I have on top of that. Um, but yeah, I I'm not doing anything, and that's just purely because of anxiety and all that kind of stuff. Um, so it's it'll do me like a load of good just having this desk and like the setup, because it's my space. I'll actually be comfortable. I've never really had that throughout my time on YouTube, and it will allow me to get back into like proper logo making and doing all that stuff again, and actually be excited to make video. Well, I'm excited at the moment to make videos, but like have a drive for something at least, which is big for me because I don't really have that at the moment. Been quite bad, uh, and it's just one of those things. Um, so yeah, I just got to think about. Oh yeah, I'll do that for you, man. Yeah, it's all good. Just right. What you need to do is find maybe some references or something, or don't just look at somebody else's channel and go, "I want that." Just don't do that. There's no point in doing that, because that, I will say, is probably what you've been doing, or like little bits already, and that means you're going to be changing it every 5 seconds. And I know I've told you this so many times. It's just not worth doing that, because people are going to get confused about your brand all over the place. So I would 100% do that for you. Just give me a bit more information beforehand, and actually do some research into things that you like and what you want to promote, because it's your channel at the end of the day, right? Don't just go to somebody else's channel and be like, I like that style, I want that sort of thing. I'm not saying that you have done that with the recent stuff, but I'm just saying do some research beforehand, because you know what happened with the last logo. It was all over the place and all this, and that's nobody's fault. It's just what you wanted at that time is different what you wanted a bit after. So just hey, Scott Bunny, how you doing, man? So yeah, just do some research, even if it's a small amount. Anything will help, and just sort of figure out what you want. Make it stylized after you and what you like, and not somebody else's stuff. Because I know that's happened in the past. I'm not stupid, and I don't think you've even told me that. Just make it yours. Don't think this person has a cool style. This person, does this and does that. I'm going to take bits and pieces, because it's fine early on to do that, but that's to find out your own style and your own thing. If you're making it yourself, if you're commissioning someone, give like a proper in-depth research look at just things that you like. And if you give some, like, if you say something like, I like the 2010s era, whatever, at least that's something for me to work off of, and we can back and forth to each chat all the time anyway. You know what I mean? Yeah, I get you. Also, YouTube actually gave me my advanced features back, so I might have to restart. It just depends on how fast my algorithm becomes with the different content style. Right, so what you're going to have a problem with is with how different your content style is going to be, you will basically be restarting on your current channel. Basically, you will have subs that unfortunately will just go. You'll have people there to support you, but I'm just being blatantly like, I'm not just going to beat you around the bush. You will have people who just won't watch it anymore or just leave because they were there for one type of content. I had that problem on my old one, and that obviously that's not the reason why I changed, because I got hacked and things. But you will have that problem, but probably not necessarily as bad as I've seen other channels. But with how ruthless the algorithm can be, even when you're a small startup channel, that's, you're going to be fighting the same battle. So it's like, do you either go with a channel that you potentially have some support on, or do you start from scratch? And the thing is, that's another thing. If that's the content you want to make, then start from scratch. But you really need to think about if that's the content you want to make, and not just down the line go, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go back, or I want to change to something else. Because early on, you need to have a foundation, and if that foundation is shoddy or like badly done or whatever, it's not going to hold up. And I know other people can come in and say, well, that's not happening to me. I've just, from my experience with over the years and everything, seen other channels like start off and go down. From my own personal experience, as well as just YouTube, looking at YouTube in general, you have to have a solid foundation for that kind of stuff. That is just something you have to do, because that's what the start is. What people are gonna sort of want to come to your channel for early on. Later on, like years, yeah, sure, you can change things up every now and then, because hopefully people will be there for you and not the content that you're making. But the start, you have to figure out what you want to do. It is a complicated thing to think about, because that's the other thing. What you had going at this point in time on your old stuff was fairly unique in that sort of sphere of nicheness. And, people were coming to see your content and your style of content, and because it was unique in that niche. The other, like, you got to think about the niche that you're going into now with the new content. Who are like other people doing it? How many people are doing it? You can't just copy others. I'm not saying that you will, but I'm saying like editing style, designs, all that sort of stuff. You got to really think about it. And I'm not here trying to be like, I'm here to scare you, whatever. I just want to be blatantly obvious and, what's the word? Be as just open as possible. And technical, that's the right word. As possible, just so you know. Right? But the thing is, that's the other thing. If you have flames, don't shut it down, whatever. You can be like, hey, make a new video on there. But like, I'm not making stuff on here anymore. Come to this other channel. What I would personally do is, you already have your Plus channel, right? You're not really doing much with that. So why not just turn that into Nova? And keep Flames Overdrive, like, up. And then just say, hey, I've rebranded, set this other my other channel into this. Go over there if you want this kind of stuff. And that means you can still potentially have Flames as a, not a backup, but if you want other ideas that you feel like don't fit in with Nova, you can whack it on Flames. Like Flames Overdrive. I think just have it, that's probably your best bet. Exactly, you have that start, and it's still early. I would never recommend doing that, say, with your Frames channel, which is fairly big, right? You have that solid foundation because that stuff was also different from your main channel stuff. That's in its own niche, right? So I think that allows people to see, hey, this is some of the stuff I do. You put out some of your new stuff, and like, okay, do I like this stuff? I'm going to subscribe if I do. I think that's probably the best way. Instead of like making a whole new account, a whole new email, whatever, you have something that you can just easily swap. I need a drink. But I believe in you. I really do. The start is always hard. It's always hard to get your foot in the door, especially now. It was hard back when I was doing it. But like, it is insanely difficult now, just for the amount of channels that have just been made, stuff that is being produced. You know, it is the mega wild west out there now. And you got to find your niche. Because you before it was like, oh, I'm gonna, it was like people will find your channel for you and the stuff that you do. But because there's so many people out there, niche communities like the Sonic communities, or like even in that you got fan game communities. Like the smaller and smaller. It's best to sort of build off of those and then eventually grow out if you want to. Just because then people who's like looking for a specific thing, or just like looking at Sonic stuff in general, they can find your channel. But you need to get on a decent algorithm to get your channel out there, right? Um, so yeah, I believe in you, but I will 100% help you out with that. And that money actually will go towards my desk, which would be great. Um, so yeah, just let me know, and I will help out in any way I can with that sort of stuff. Excuse me. Right, let's get this show on the road. Um, let's get. How much would it cost for a whole package? Right, I'm trying to think. So that includes logo, uh, banner, profile picture, right? Um, I don't know. I'd have to do a bit of research on that because I don't actually have my old commission sheets anymore. And they were cheap enough to begin with, so I'll probably raise them a little bit. Um, Also, does the intro and outro? Wait, hold on. I don't know if I'll do intro and outro. I'm just gonna say for the time being, I will do banner, profile picture, and logo. Just for the time being, I probably will be able to do that, but I'll just say uh, I'll just do those three first, just because I have other things going on, and plus I've got videos I want to make that I've been waiting for ages. Do I have an estimate? 50, maybe. Maybe it might be a bit higher. I don't know because that's a full on logo. I have to go in and look at do some research on that. I don't know if that's the actual. That's probably the lowest I would ever go, but I don't know if that's. I need to do some research myself because I'm gonna redo my prices and actually open them up in next. I'm gonna open up my commissions next year. I doubt we'll get anyone, but I actually do stuff. I'm not going to do anything for free anymore because with the new desk and everything, I'll actually have that drive to make some stuff. Anywho, get back to me on that because that's not a definitive answer. But right, let's actually get this show on the road, shall we? Display capture, boom. Excuse me. Right. Here we have the Sonic Superstars tier list. And I made all of the things at the bottom. This is why I didn't want this whole idea to go anywhere. I wanted to actually complete it because I spent so long making these designs. You can't see my cursor. Hold on. Well, you can see them down there. All of the designs down there and the layout, everything. I made that. So I spent like an hour and a bit just getting backgrounds, getting things to work, getting things like crops. So I didn't want to just leave these. But what I'm gonna do is I've got a playlist of all the music here, and we will just listen to each one and then rank them. I've got pretty much all the songs. I have deliberately left out a couple, just because it's just like I don't want. Some of the songs like little jingles and things like that I don't need, but I've got the majority of the main ones. So first up we have the title screen. I just realised I don't think I have. I do have desktop audio on. Cool. Right, let's try that again. Banger. This 100% is up there with some of my favourite tracks. It is what I want out of a classic like title screen. It's upbeat. It's just happy. I know there's mean the same thing, but shut up. It's just it's what I think of when I think of classic Sonic. It's just fun, It's bouncy. It's just like I had such a huge smile on my face when I got to the title screen. Obviously, the animations and the game looks great at that point, but the music, man, it was so good. So that let me see if I can find it down here. Title screen. There you are. I think it's not my favorite track in the game. Like I don't have a crazy connection with this song, but there's nothing wrong with it. I think it's better than some of the classic themes, in my opinion. I think all the classic theme like title screens are like a god tier, but I think this just is so much happier. So yeah, I'm gonna have to put it A. It's a banger. It's an absolutely banger piece. And I just think there are better songs in Superstars that I can't stop listening to. That's the only reason why I haven't put it in S tier. But it's such a good theme. I really wish that we could get this game actually like the soundtrack released. Love to see if there was some vinyl stuff of it out there somewhere because we don't know who made all of these songs. We can guess, and there was the small digital OST, but we not. I think it's only like 8 songs, right? I can't. It's either 8 or 13. I can't remember. There's very few songs in that digital soundtrack, and they're pretty much all T. Lopes' stuff, which are all bangers, by the way. But a lot of the other stuff, we just don't know who made them. So it'd be nice to get at least just for their recognition. But hopefully it comes out next year. It's crazy how long it's been since the game's come out. We still haven't got a release or even just more information. But Sega be Sega. Right, next up we have the main menu. Okay, you get the gist. Right, so elephant in the room. Sonic 4 sounding for a lot of people. Um, Here's the thing, and you know, that definitely gets passed around a lot. You know, the Sonic thought. It's because, and again, I want to say I'm not a musician, I'm not a remix artist, so I I'm just saying what I think, and I'm saying my opinions and all that sort of stuff. So if I say anything that is musically like technically wrong or whatever, take it with a pinch of salt. I'm not a musician. I'm just a guy who likes listening to music, and I do need to learn things about music. Don't get me wrong, but if some of the terminology I say is wrong, then now you know why. But I know a lot of people talk about Sonic 4, especially when it comes to like the Mega Drive esque sounding songs in this, and I get why. I do get why. It's down to the drum sample, I do think. Um, but I think I want to go out on a limb and just say I think this is a lot better than Sonic 4's music in terms of how it's made. It just sounds a lot more authentic compared to Sonic 4 stuff. I still can't pull it up there with most of the Mega Drive originals from the classic games. But if we're talking about has a June improved since Sonic 4, I think he has. Like hands down he has. Like these melody this melody in particular is nice. It's fine. I think if it was done in the same style as say the Sonic 3, with those instruments, I kind of want to see somebody do that. This has potential. Or my problem is that I just don't like the Sonic 1 drum most of the time. There is a song that we will talk about later that it works for. And it works in Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, but if we're going to go back to using Mega Drive stuff, and I think we should, because that console is a powerhouse for twangy music that I just love. Let's stay away from that drum sample. Let's try and go into other games. I get why, say, with Sonic 4 and that, even Forces to a very minor degree, why you chose those drums is because that was for Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. But why not use something like the Knuckles Chaotix drums or Sonic 3 drums, or even like take the styling and the um, is it FM style of like Sonic CD, and how that handled higher quality audio. Or I just think making a fusion of Mega Drive and real instruments could be really cool, especially if you use a lot of different Mega Drive sounding pieces. I don't want to say sound fonts because I know that's wrong, but if you're gonna do that, at least make sure they work together. Don't take something from Sonic 1 and see if it works with like an Echo the Dolphin thing. I just think that there's huge potential. I've heard a lot of people who are still making chiptune music with the with the Mega Drive chip. It sounds brilliant, and like they mix it with like arcade chips and things, and that could also be done. I feel like because Sega did a lot of arcade things. I just feel like there's so much left to do with the Mega Drive. It seems like there's not, because they've sort of done the same sort of thing from Sonic 4 to Sonic Forces to now this. But I don't think this is a terrible song. I think melody wise, it's fine. I am not in love with the thing. I think it's just fine. So I'm gonna put it in C, because I can't put it in B because my problems with it are, and goes for a lot of songs in this game, is that they're incredibly repetitive. And sometimes that could be fine. Like Sonic 3's data select, that is very repetitive. The difference is that song's like lighted, airy feeling, whereas this just feels very. I don't know how to describe it. It just feels like heavy and thick. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just like it's there, it exists, and it's doing its job. but it does get annoying once you hear it keep on replaying. Whereas I can listen to the Sonic 3 data select theme for ages. Same with the Mania data select theme. I can listen to that for ages. Whereas this, I can't. So it has to go in it's a high C for me. Right. What do we have next? Okay, world map. Do I even have the world map on here? Yes, I do. Okay. This is worse, in my opinion, just for how... I know you're not there for long. You know, with in the open... Not the open... Why was I going to say open zone? You're not in the world map for too long, right? You're there if you're going to back out of a game, go to the main menu, whatever. I just feel like this is too repetitive for it's so good. And because of that, do I think it's bad? To me, this is just a jingle that is just constantly replaying, and that's not good. Composition, like wise, in terms of the actual first, like how it sounds, fine. Same problem with the main menu, in that way. But it just repeats too much. I would love to see like the generations approach, where you would go in between each one and it would just merge in between each one, or just leave it quiet. You know, just let everything around you just like take everything in, or make like a remix of like a really chill remix of the title screen theme. You know, I just don't think if I heard this, I wouldn't think world map. I just wouldn't. I would think options. Maybe if the main menu had like another like a secondary like piece of music, or if for some reason the pause screen had music, that's what I would think. I don't think this fits a world map. Now saying that out loud, I'm gonna have to put this in D tier, which sucks because I honestly feel like this piece could have had a lot more going for it. You're probably gonna hear me saying that a lot as well. But I can't give it anything higher. I don't absolutely hate it. It's not garbage. It's just, it exists, but it's very grating on my ears. You know, it's like 2 seconds long and it repeats. That's it. I just can't recommend anyone listen to it. There's no point. So what do we have next? I'm skipping this. There we go. I don't have this. I know I've left this out, but I wouldn't give this too high either. I think it's fine. What it does is fine. I just think it sounds a bit meh. Right, let's get onto Bridge Island. So I'm just jamming. I love this song. It's such a great opening theme. Like it's such a good off, especially after Green Hill. I love Green Hill, and I get why people don't like it, but you know, it's such a great opening stage. It's got that like sense of wonder, and it's uplifting, upbeat. It's what I want out of a classic game, and I'm gonna have to put him up here. Bridge Island Act One, Chef's Kiss, amazing. It's not my favourite, but it deserves S, 100%. Like it was, oh, amazing. I can't stress enough how perfect it is for an opening stage. Just for how I don't know. It's so exciting, and it fits in with the whole style and the vibe of the stage as well, which is it is very familiar with the checkered patterns and everything. But it just makes me happy, even just listening to it, playing through it as well. It's a really well designed stage. I love the overall style of it and the actual set pieces and everything. It's just a great stage, and the music goes hand in hand with that. I hate it when you're gonna hear me say this later down the road when a stage has a great idea. Hey, productivity idea, man. Um, a stage has a great idea and like a great set piece, and but if the music doesn't fit well, it doesn't connect, or it's not good. I can't like I can't merge well with the stage. Like I can't get into it. Music does such a big thing for me, especially with the classic games. So that's why it has to be an S tier. It just has to be. I can't explain anything more than that. It's just perfect. Especially this bit, man. Got that backing, but there's so many layers to this piece as well. Like you've got the amazing bass, you got like little things going on in the background. It's like it sounds T Lopes is so amazing. He understands how to make Sonic music sound like Sonic music. He just does. This is so good. Like even if it was, I think this was either made by June originally, and then T came and like like sampled it, whatever. They both have done an absolutely amazing job. This is such an amazing openings theme. I can't get over it. So good. Right, what do we have next? Love this. I am including the Emerald Powers on the ranking, and can be honest with you, that is just a solid A tier. Great little jingle, You know, when it happens, you're like, oh, this is so fun. It makes everything a bit more chaotic, which is exactly what the avatar power does. Does its job. Is it perfect? No, but I think it does what it needs to do. So that's a great A tier. I'm just going to go BRB for a second. I will be right back. I've just been called. Right, I am back. Sorry about that. Right, what do we have next? Let's have a look. But yeah, A tier. Easy A tier for me. I think it should be Act 2 next. Nope. Love this. I don't know if, do I have invincibility? Yes, I do. S tier, in my opinion. It'd be a low S tier, but nah, you know what? I'm going to put it on the same as A tier. It'd be a high A tier. I prefer it over the Avatar. That is just an amazing remix of the title screen, which is what the invincibility theme should be, in my opinion. And it's just, it's so uplifting, so powerful. I love it. It's perfect for a for like the feeling you get when you're invincible. It's probably one of my favourite invincibility themes ever. Probably up there with SA1. I only really ever got to hear it once, and that was during the Fang fight in Jungle. Why have I forgotten what it's called? I was going to say Jungle Zone, but that's not it. It's Speed Jungle, that's it. Act Sonic. So, you know, when I did hear it, I was like, that's cool. I only heard it once throughout my entire playthrough. I don't know where any of these item boxes are in Bridge Island or anywhere else. But I got to use it, which was nice. And it made me happy when I heard it. I was like, this is really, really good. But that's all I can say. It's just a great jingle. It's it's up there with the classics. I think it's better than most of the classics in my opinion. So yeah, that's a high A tier. I have a special stage. This is great. My favourite bit. Gonna have to pause it otherwise. I'll keep going. This is an S tier, 100%. Special stage, 100% S tier. It's such a great new special stage theme. It's like up there with Mania's in my opinion. They both like it starts with like a very CD in my opinion sounding start, but then it just gets so happy, but also very like I guess empowering. Is that the right word? Basically, where you realize that you're on a time limit and you need to go, sort of thing. It gets the whole like it shows the idea of what the special stage is. Basically, you need to go quick, get the emerald. And while these aren't my favourite special stages, I do like them, and especially how unique they are. I think I honestly do prefer Mania special stages a lot more. But comparing these to, say, like the half pipe special stage music, Sonic 1, it's just fun. It's just happiness, fun, and it's just full of energy, which is what I think a special stage theme should be. Maybe not bonus stage and things like that. That's when they can do more different feeling music. But I think for a special stage, you need it to be upbeat and full of energy, right? Because you need to go and get that emerald, and it's an emerald chase again, essentially. So I think it has to be an S tier. It's just great. It's definitely one of my personal special stage, like favorite special stage themes. Not the favorite, but it's up there, top 3, 100%. I think the other two will have to be Mania and then Sonic Jam. Sonic Jam's music, man, so good. Special stage theme. If you haven't heard that, do yourself a favour. It's amazing. But yeah, hands down recommend listening to the special stage music. And I can't really say that for any other apart from Jam and Manias, because all the other ones are a bit too repetitive. This bit's good as well. It's very CD sounding. But it's so good. God, this music's so good. It's so good. I have to go forward. I will put this on repeat, and we'll be here forever. But oh my god, it's so good. And we get to the the mini boss. Hey Bane, how you doing? God, I do recognise the name. Why do I recognise? I haven't seen you for a while. I don't think. Bane. I recognise the name. I don't know why I recognise the name. I'm going to be brutally honest. I recognise the name. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. We're just ranking some Superstars songs on the tier list. We are now on the mini boss theme, which is let's take a listen and we will talk about this. Why does it keep repeating? Okay. Sonic 4, baby. This is one of the few songs where I'm like, that's fine. I completely get why you say that. I don't. You know, I know there will be some people out there who like different songs, and you know what? That's great. You know, if you can't, if you like stuff that I don't like, then that's brilliant. You know, the song has done its job. Me personally, I cannot stand this song, especially when you compare that to previous. Now, I'm only talking the classic games, previous boss themes. Do you accept Steam? No, I don't. I'm afraid. Flames. I've PayPal only really because I wouldn't be putting it towards a game. I'd be putting it towards my desk. So I actually need cash. Unfortunately, Sonic Superstars OST going fire. Yeah, a lot of it is great. A lot of it is not so much. Yeah, that was only half. Right. My main issues I have with this. Why'd you do that? There we go. My main issues I have with this particular song is the fact that it's so repetitive and boring. It's not like a fierce battle. For instance, I understand that Sonic 1 and Sonic 2's boss themes are really repetitive. But the reason, in my opinion, why they work is because they are menacing. They are very like here to make a statement. You know, it kind of it's like the early versions of Eggman's character theme, in my opinion. That's how I view them. So them being short and the fact that the actual bosses are can be shortened themselves with you like getting some extra hits in and trying to get it as quick as possible. Those work, but they also have like a second part that sounds pretty different, right? Especially with Sonic 2's case. And then Sonic 3 comes in out of nowhere. That sounds great. Completely different style. Very like very of the time. Very Michael Jackson. It's brilliant. It's great, and it works because that also does the same sort of job, right? Of trying to set like the mood and then get in there. But you can also get through those bosses pretty quick. And then you have this where I really enjoy the bosses in this game. I get why people don't like them. In my opinion, they should have had a boss act for these bosses. In my opinion, I think that would get a lot of people wouldn't be as annoyed if that was the case. But I like the bosses in this game. I just don't like the boss music purely because it's so forgetful. It's not impactful, and it's not like it just it just sounds like mush. It's not a boss theme. It doesn't sound like a boss. It just sounds like filler music, and I hate saying that because there was a lot of work that clearly got put into it. Just in my opinion, it just doesn't fit the bosses whatsoever. It doesn't give you that scared feeling. It doesn't make you worried about what you're going up against. It doesn't help the actual fights themselves feel more in depth because that's what a lot of the boss music in the classics did as well was, they helped build suspense. Especially with Sonic 1's, where you get to the Wrecking Ball and it's like, no, that's the wrong. Like, I just. And Sonic 2 for it. They're so good. This is so. I hate that. I don't like using the word hate, but I hate that guitar here. It just does nothing. It doesn't add anything. You know what it sounds like? Have you ever, if you put your right hand over your mouth and then put your left hand on your your tip of your fingers on top. See, like it sounds like when people move their mouth open and closed when you talk like that. it doesn't. It just doesn't add anything. Yes, I do. I have Sonic Frontier sounds on Opera GX. Yes, I do. This, if you would call like the Sonic 1, 2, 3 and Knuckles and CD boss fights like really, really like freaky, like really good in-depth pieces of music, this would be the angry teen version where it just yells and is like constant screaming and just moaning. It does. The other songs sound like they're there to make you like scared and make an impact. This is just moaning. This is what I would call. It's just a person upsetly moaning to a parent. I will say, like this bit where it's like dun 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 dun. I like how that sounds. Dun 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 dun. I like how that sounds. It's very bass heavy. Like it's very. That's probably not the right word, but it's very present. But it's weird because it does. This doesn't sound like it has like a full on. Well, it has a melody, but it sounds like what you would usually have as like the backing. That sounds like the melody instead of the actual melody. Again, I'm not a musician, so I could be saying the wrong things here. But it just sounds all over the place. Like, this bit sounds the same. Like this sounds. No, I wasn't saying the beeping. This is the Sonic. Oh, that's the. Wait, no, that's. I changed that. That's the Sonic Adventure 2 one, I think. I do have Frontier sounds on here though. This doesn't sound menacing. It just sounds like he's in your way, and I just think that's a massive disservice to Eggman. Like I can only put the boss. It made me so upset when I heard this music. When I heard it the first time, and it's sad because this sort of thing you need to have like a. It needs to be. This should be one of the songs you remember, because Superstars would be a lot of kids' first classic Sonic game. And I don't want. I wouldn't like if this stuff was their first. It shouldn't just be. Right. Let me start again. I don't want this to be a kid's first listen at an Eggman theme, because it's just there, and in my opinion, this shouldn't just be there. It should be. You should remember it. It should give you goosebumps. It should be. If you listen to CD's music, they didn't. They went in on that because that's Eggman. He is there to make your life a living hell. This does nothing. It's fine, but it shouldn't be fine. It should be better than fine. And that's I have to give it a. I have to give it a D. I'm not happy with it. I'm just not. I'm not happy with the early boss themes. It makes me so sad. But do you know what? I think I know what's next, and this doesn't make me sad. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 da, 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 da. God, this music's so good. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, 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 ba. How did we go from the boss music to this? It was such a slap in the face when you get to the boss at the end of Bridge Island, Act 1. This is bliss. This is how Act 2 should be done. It's a remix of Act 1 with even more hype behind it. It's such a brilliant song. Bridge Island Act 2, easily S tier. I shouldn't have to explain myself why that is just there. It is such an amazing addition to the opening stage. I love it. Again, it's every reason why I like Act 1, but just times 10. It's just such a great song. You know what? I'm actually gonna... There we go. It's my favourite so far. I love Bridge Island as a whole. Like Act 1 and Act 2. Brilliant. That is how the entire soundtrack should have been. And there's a reason why they showed this off in the trailer. It's because it's amazing. You know, I love it. There's nothing wrong with this. There's no faults. It's just an amazing theme that mixes like T. Lopes' signature sound, but also with an amazing guitar. I think it's great. I think it's amazing. And it's one of my favourites of the entire game. Hands down. We're going to listen to some more. It's so good. I'm gonna have to carry on because we got a lot more songs to get through. But hands down, one of my favourites to go back to. I just realised I put the wrong song here. That was the early boss theme. It still belongs there, but it was the other boss. If I can find that. Not final boss. Battle mode, no. Fang boss, no. Frozen base, nope. Final boss, nope. Where's the other one? Late boss, no. Mini boss. I think that was the first one was the mini boss theme, right? Yeah. I prefer it over the early boss theme, and you'll understand why when I play it. That's the entire theme, and it's 27 seconds. And it's literally the same thing. It's more like 7 seconds. You know how I was saying about how I didn't like the mini boss theme? I was blending why I didn't like this theme into that theme. But it stands, both points still stand, like all the points still stand on why I don't like the mini boss theme. But it's just exemplified in this because at least the mini boss theme had a switch up at the end of it, right? It was slightly different. Nowhere near to the degree of like Sonic 3's or whatever. It's still bad. I still don't enjoy it. This, on the other hand, this is for Eggman himself, not for his mechs or what the big badniks or whatever they're called. This is him, and this does even less than the mini boss theme does in terms of how it makes the player feel. It does nothing. It's not scary. It's not foreboding. It's not intimidating. It's nothing. It's just there. And it's the drum sample again. It doesn't help. I just even this is like one of the few times where I just don't like the melody either. This entire song I just don't like. There's no. This can sound harsh, but I don't think there's any redeeming qualities about this, in my opinion. Especially when comparing it to songs that have come from the past. That this is trying to be up there with and sort of intimidate the right word? No, it's not. Like have the same sort of styles and taking all that from the classics. It just doesn't work. Even if, say, T. Lopes came in and changed things with the but kept the melody, but he's just got redone, I still wouldn't enjoy it. And at the end of the day, if the melody's not great, then the song, in my opinion, is just always going to be a D tier. It's probably going to be my least favorite song of the entire game, and that makes me so sad because it's Eggman. Like it should be. Well, I said it before. It should be powerful. It should be like it should be scary. Like freak the player out, make him intimidated. This is none of that. It's like up there with like. I can imagine it's like a fairground or something. I don't know why. It just doesn't. It doesn't sound like boss music. That's all I can listen to from that. That's right. Now we're on to Bridge Island Zone Act Fruit. Okay. I tell you what this reminds me of in a minute, which is really weird. I like the chiptune 8-bit stuff in the background here. That's fun. That's such a cool upbeat piece of music. There's nothing that does its job. I wouldn't put it in A or S tier. It's a high B for sure. That is great. But the comparison I want to say, for some reason, especially like that second part of the song, it sounded like Yoshi music, and I don't know why. Let me see if I can get the point where it sounds like Yoshi music to me. Here, this instrument makes it sound like Yoshi, and I don't know why. I just get, like, I'm not saying Yoshi's Island or Yoshi's Story. It's like the weird games on, like, DS and that era. Like, maybe a GBA game. It just sounds like the main instrument that was used. I really like this bit. Just sounds like Yoshi music. But I like it. It's not one I will probably ever go back and listen to. But it's not bad. I wouldn't call it bad. The instruments, most of them sound great. You know, I'm a bit iffy on some of the things. I liked the 8-bit sort of thing in the background. That was cool. Especially when you have like nice headphones. It's nice hearing that. It's like because it has nice layers to it. But I can't give it any higher than a B. It's a high B, but I can't give it an A because it's not. It's not up there with the title screen or the invisibility for sure. It's just, but it's not nowhere near as like annoying or grating as the main menu theme. So I think it will happily sit in B for me. Right, here we go. God, this is so good. Oh, this music's so good. Do I need to explain this? This is easy. I don't know. Do I put it higher than Act 2? No. Speed Jungle Act 1 is S tier, easy. It's just so upbeat, happy. I know I'm saying the same thing, but it's just that's what you got to do to make a good classic Sonic theme. Make it impactful. And this is a theme that I know new fans will never forget. It's great. It's such a great jungle theme, in my opinion. And it goes with, it's very upbeat and quick, which is, it's a very Stardust Speedway stage in terms of the gimmicks and how the whole thing works. So I think the music pairs really well with it, which is so important to me. I don't think it's, in my opinion, like it's Bridge Island Act 2 it's just above, just a smidge. But Speed Jungle Act 1 is amazing. And I think it would be great if Act 2 and Act Sonic follow the same. It's clearly what happened with Act 1 and Act 2 of Bridge Island Zone, where they had the same theme. So, I'm really excited to see how the different composers remix this amazing song for Act 2 and Act Sonic. I'm sure they do that, right? Oh. Hey, Feng, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, let's listen to Act Sonic. I don't think this is a bad song. I don't, but I don't think it fits the zone. Right, when it repeats, we will. So here we go. Act Sonic. I think it's a nice song. I think it's well composed. I don't think there's anything wrong with it on that side of things. Where it comes into being a problem, in my opinion, is that it has literally no relation to Act 1. And in my opinion, Act 1 should be how the zone sounds and the zone feels throughout. If there was like a motif that was putting, that would be cool. If it was the same instruments, that would help. If it was the same feel and the same type of music, that would help as well. Like doing one of those three things, if it did one of those three things, I wouldn't have a problem. Hey, Amy, how you doing? Pardon me. I wouldn't have a problem. But I have a problem with it because it has no relation to Act One, and as a classic fan, you did it with Bridge Island Act One and Act Two. So why? I know there was so many different composers, and that's cool. But there should have been some sort of like guide on what to do. You know, like at least make it similar to Act One. And I don't think it's a bad song. I don't. I just can't put it in S tier because there is a major problem with it. So I'm gonna have. I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna have to. Act Sonic has to go in a mid A tier purely because it just doesn't do what it's supposed to do, which is remix Act One. You know, if it was a full on drum and I don't want to call it drum and bass, or like how whatever. If it was a full on remix of Act One, that would be cool. Or there's just no correlation, and that affects the game in my opinion when I'm playing it, especially when it's a classic game. I don't think it's bad. I really don't. It's just it needs to have some sort of similarities. Right, now we're on to our second Emerald Power, which is Bullet. Yeah, there's a lot of songs. I like this. I don't know if I like it as much as Avatar. Um, excuse me. Yeah, I don't know if I like it as much as the Avatar power up, but it's fun. It does the job. It's like it's very, quick. It makes it sound. I know it's a repeating song, but it's a jingle essentially. So I'm fine with that. Um, but I think I'm gonna put that as like a mid to low A. I think. I think that's probably what I'm gonna. Flame, did you? Oh, thank you, Flames. Thank you so much. Why is that not popping up on? Oh, God damn it! Is my alert box not working? Appreciate that, Flames. Thank you so much, man. Why is my alerts not working? Let me get into Streamlabs. Hold on. I want that to pop up. So like, give you 1 second. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Glug. You too. I don't know why that hasn't worked. That's so frustrating. It's always Streamlabs that does that sort of thing. So let's go to. I don't care, Streamlabs. Go away. Recent events. Right. Let me redo that. Boom. Why is it the old one? You kidding me? Oh my god. Hold on. I need to fix this. This is annoying. I set all this up and it just didn't. Did it pop up again? Why? Why? Why is it using something that's like a year old? Right, alert box. What is the? Does it? Do I have something for the other ones? Do I not have a super chat one? What is this god? Hold on, give me a second. No, no. Donation. I'll just put a donation, screw it. And you know what? I'm fine with that, but what? I wish this worked. I wish this worked. It just doesn't. So slide in, up, slide out, down. I can't believe I'm doing this on stream. Save settings. Do I have a thing that I can use for it? Uploads. This one. There we go. Save settings. Give it a second. Jeez Louise, that is stupid. This thing barely works half the time. It's so frustrating. Right. Just redone it. Does that work? Why is it massive? God damn it. Oh, man. Professional, guys. I'm a professional, I swear. Super chats. Why is the text that massive? Name, yeah, that's fine. Show the amount, fine. What about the message settings? Enabled, fine. Yes, make it tiny. Make it tiny. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, I really need to recheck. I need to update this stuff and. Oh my god, StreamUp sucks. Right, let's see this again. Let's try that. Wait, did you send me 7 as well? What are you doing? Thank you. Okay, let's see if this works. That would work for now. Fine. How does this one work? That will do. Fine. Sorted for now. I'm going to have to change that after stream. Oh, but thank you so much, Flames. I really do appreciate that. That means the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me read the actual chat. Surprise tag. Hopefully, this covers some of the profile picture money, like a deposit. Maybe. I don't know. I need to double check on the pricing and things. But thank you. Anywho, Emerald Power. Oh, I need to. I'm all over the shop. Boom. Sorted. There we go. Done. Right, back on track. I think Emerald Power, the what's it called? The bullet power up is pretty good. I don't think it's amazing, but it's definitely low A tier, I think. Right, what do we have next? Oh, brilliant! This song, I adore this song, as you can obviously hear by my tone. Let's move on to the next song, which is Speed Shop. Okay, let's do that properly. Let's do that. Why do I dislike the Fang Boss theme music? Well, to put it bluntly, the fact that, Eggman's theme, I said I didn't like it because it was repetitive. It didn't sound great. Especially for a boss fight, it didn't do what it was out to do. But you know what? At least, right? At least we can turn around and say, you know what? At least Eggman's theme in Frontiers, how his music and whatever was cool in that. Or hey, at least his music in Mania was cool. You know what? We have other, a lot of other Eggman themes over the years to, go back and enjoy just because we didn't like this one. Fang hasn't been around for a good 20 years. And that was his returning theme? Are you kidding me? It's not a boss theme. It doesn't feel like a boss theme. It doesn't feel like it fits him whatsoever. I'm not going to bring up fan work and be like, oh, this is better, do this. I'm just going to say, at least, make it so it sounds like a character theme. Or, the instrumentation that was used for it didn't sound good at all. All of these songs are from Superstars, and this is why I feel like I get why people say, you know, the OST isn't great. I don't agree with them, but I get why, because it's so disjointed. It's so disjointed. And it's so sad. Fang really deserved a much better theme than what he got. And it's like a 3-second loop at the start, and then it goes into something a bit more, but then it goes back. It sounds muffled as well. It doesn't sound, like, intimidating. It doesn't. Same with Eggman's theme. I've already said it. It doesn't sound intimidating. It's so sad. It's sad. All I can say, he didn't get what he deserved for being MIA for 20 years, you know? It's sad. I can't say any more than that. So I just he doesn't deserve it. He deserved a proper theme, like properly instrumented, like proper. You know, he just didn't deserve what he got at all. Now, Speed Jungle Act 2, on the other hand, is good. Really well made, this is. This should be where it loops after this bit. I think it's a great song. I think it's great. I much prefer it over the Axonic one because it fits even better with the stage theming in terms of the background and it being a jungle. But I'm gonna have to put it in B tier for the same reason. Sorry, I have to put it in A tier for the same reason I put Axonic in there. Where is Speed Jungle? There you are, Act 2. I prefer it over Act Sonic, but the reason why it's at A is because it has nothing to do with Act 1, and that is a massive issue for me. For there to be some sort of, like, world building and sort of cohesion, in my opinion, for a classic game or a 2D game, you make it so it's a remix of Act 1 in some way, or you have a motif from Act 1. I feel like if there was a motif from Act 1 in Act Two's theme, in like the current Act Two's theme, I think it would have been great. I would have been fine with it because it still has that atmospheric like jungle feeling. But it just doesn't, which is sad. So I have to put it in mid A tier. There's just I really do like the song, but in game, it takes me out of the zone a little bit just because it has nothing to do with Act One. Okay. I've got some cool things to say about this song, for sure. Oh, this bit's so good. You thought it was gonna loop then? Nope, song's still going. Still going. It's one of the longest songs, I think, in this. Still going. $155, and you compare that to like Eggman's theme, which is like a 3-second loop. Like, but if we're talking about Sky Temple, I'm putting it in A. I'm putting it below the Invincibility theme, but above Avatar. I love this song, and it shows that the Sonic 1 drums can work. Because if you can hear, they're not as powerful. They've got they're toned back a little bit. They're definitely there, and you can hear them, but they're not as punchy, which I think helps the song so much. Like, you can tell that's the drum sample, but there's something added on top of it, which I think helps out a lot. I love it. I think this works. The instruments are good. I prefer this over some of the classic Sonic songs from the Mega Drive. You know, it's a great showcase of that June has improved, and I think this song gets a bad rap from some people when I don't think it deserves it. I really do enjoy it. I really do. Is it perfect? No, but I can see what they were going for with this, especially if it was worked on a little bit more. Maybe T come in and work his magic on it a little bit. It would definitely be an S, 100%. I can hear like a Mania inspired sort of thing going on with this song, especially with like there's some trumpets in there or brass instruments that are very Mania-esque, and I think it sounds good. I just think for using the Mega Drive style, it works. Could it have been better out of that style? 100%. I don't think this melody or whatever, they've done what they. I don't think they've maximised the capabilities of the Mega Drive sound. I feel like they could have done a lot. They pushed it a lot further, but for what they've done and what they have, I think it's great. I really do like it. It's one of my favourite Mega Drive sounding things from June ever. So, high praise, high praise. Yeah, I love this song. Vision, this has to be. This is better than Avatar, 100%. Vision is so good. If you ever want to know what's going on in my brain, if I'm thinking, that's the music. It's just nothing. I love it. It's so. I wouldn't call it funky, but it's just. It's so Sonic, like classic Sonic sounding. I don't know how to describe it. It's perfect. I really enjoy it. It's one of my favourite Emerald Power themes out of all of them. It's one of my favourites. But that was quick, that's all it was. Now we come to one of my favourite tracks. You can't see me, but I'm dancing. I have to again with this song. Oh, this music's so good. Wait for it, get ready for it. Here we go. This bit's so good. This is how modern classic Sonic music should sound. I shouldn't need to explain myself when I immediately go to pinball. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Yep. Act 1. Bada boom. My favourite song that we've listened to so far. It is perfect. It is so amazingly good. It is 100% like one of my favourite stage themes in the entire series. I love this song so much. When it first came out, I was like, This soundtrack's gonna be awesome." You know, it gave me so much hope. This is what a modern 2D Sonic, classic Sonic soundtrack it should sound like this. So funky, so, I've said it, I've said all the same, I'm going to be saying all the same things. It's just perfect. If I close my eyes and listen to this, and I've never heard it before, I would think a new Sonic casino theme. It's perfect. It functions super well with the stage itself. It's yeah, it does sound really happy and like really fun, and it should do because it's a carnival. All the gimmicks work with it, the atmosphere, it all just blends perfectly. Now here we have water from the Emerald Power Water. I think it's fine. I don't think it's nearly as good as Vision or Avatar, and I don't think it's as good as Bullet in terms of. I feel like I'm gonna forget this theme. That's not me. That was a floorboard. Before anyone says it. Another reason why I want to have a desk. Where is it? Water Power. I'm gonna have to put that below Bridge Island Act Fruit, in my opinion. I don't think it's bad. I just think it's kind of forgettable, a kind of forgettable theme when you put it up against the others. I actually haven't heard this yet. Okay, very carnival sounding. Serviceable, this is. This is serviceable. Don't like it as much as Act 1. It sounds fine. Hey, productivity. I do think the instruments hold this one back a lot. You know what it sounds like? You know when you get like those really crappy like coin games, which if you're from the UK, if you've seen Tipping Point, like the really small versions of that. It sounds like something that would be on like coming from one of those types of games, and it works because it's a casino. It's like a casino carnival stage. So you know what? Fine. But I don't like it nearly as much as the Act 1, and definitely not as Act 2, as we'll come along to find out. It's nowhere near as good as any of the other songs on S tier. I'm going to have to, unfortunately, put this probably. Where am I going to put this? I have to put it in, like. I think I'm fine with putting it as a low A tier. Purely because I think if it had the same instruments and styling as Act 1, I would put it as like a high A. 2P pushes, yeah, those things. It sounds like it would come out of one of those. But it's just not as good. Like, it's definitely the instrumentation that is holding that song back. It sounds kind of flat. There's no like big depth behind it. It's just there, which it does its job and it does it well. I just think it doesn't hold a candle to Act 1. Now, Act 2, this is where... Ooh, this is one of my favourite. I love Act 1, that is up there, but I love Act 2 so much more. This is so good. Get down. It fits the stage so well. Three, two, one. Oh, it's such a good song. Welcome back, Flames. This is also one of the longest songs as well. I love this theme. This is perfect, and it's one of the other only like couple stages that copy Act 1, which is what Sonic 3 did, and that is how these things should be handled, and is one of the reasons why this is so far the best, my favourite song in the entire game. It is killer. I love it so much. Ah, yes, the Act 2 song that has the beginning sounding like one of those ghost houses in 2D. I get what you mean. But I love that it sounds... They kept the same carnival vibe, but also turned it into like a horror, like ghost house style, because that's what the stage is now based around. It's so good. Act 2 as a whole is just quintessential classic Sonic for me. It's a cool mix of like the actual games, but also a mix of like Toei and the OVA a little bit with the massive Eggman thing in the background. It's great. Hey Joyride, how you doing, man? I think this is great. I love Act 2 so much. It is... This should be the standard for the next game of like they need to surpass this. It is theming and just overall how the song sounds. It works because a lot of the song it goes up and up and down and down. If that makes sense. So you go do 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 do, and I think that works for the stage itself because it's a roller coaster. So you have a lot of ups and downs. You've got to jump up and down off of each like platform while it's moving. You got to. I just think so much thought had obviously been put into this, and we do know it's the same composer for Act 1. Hence why they were able to remix it properly. So, you know, going forward, if we're going to have all these different composers, which I don't think is a bad idea, I think they should work on the same zone. Work on one zone, but both acts. And it will sound great, I think. But that was Pinball Carnival Zone. In my opinion, as a whole full zone, it is my favourite out of the entire game. This is another one I think is overhated in my opinion. Oh, that slap bass, man, that's so good. so good. I really like this section. This is my favourite bit. So much going on. This is Lagoon City Act 1. And I honestly think this is a very, very solid A. 100%. Do I think... I think it's below Sky Temple. Slap Bass is the... Hold on, let me see if I can get it for you. See if I can... So if you could do doo-doo, like not the doo-doo, like the bow, like that sort of sound. The doom ding, that bit, that. I love slap bass. Slap bass is one of my favourite instruments just to hear. And do I think this is another case where I feel like if they went full on with the Mega Drive sound, it could have sounded even better. And I feel like if they went full in on like actual instruments, it could have sounded even better. But I do think for what they've done and what they had, and you know, to keep it in with the other style of like levels and everything, the Mega Drive sounding ones, it sounds nice. I think it works. It's very... I don't know. I just... I don't know how to describe it. It just exists, but it's when you actually listen to it, it's a very nicely packed song. It has a lot of layers to it, and it's very... It sounds like a water park, which I think works with Lagoon City. I do think it works. It's not my favourite, but it does its job, and it does its job well. So let's go on to Act... Oh no, we've got the drowning theme. I don't think I have this on here because this is literally just Mania's one. I would have put it in a B tier because, hey, they've reused it. Doesn't matter. We've had the same jingle for the drowning theme for decades now in terms of the sound, like the actual... obviously, the instrumentation is different, but the actual thing itself is the same. It doesn't matter if it's reused, in my opinion. You know, if they've got it, just reuse it. Might as well. No harm. This is my favourite. I love the Vine, the Ivy Power. It is better than... I'm putting it up like below Invincibility, but ahead of Sky Temple. I love how wild, how wacky it sounds. I love how upbeat it sounds. It's crazy, and I love it. I just think it's such a perfect theme. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just fun, especially the first 4 or 5 seconds. Okay, Act Amy, let's listen to this. This is the bit I like coming up. I don't mind this song. It's not one I'm going to be going back to. And that for that reason, I'm going to put it in high B probably. Yeah, let's go with the high B. I think it's fine. It's a nice cheery song. I just think a lot of it for me is forgetful. Not in the bad sense. It's just something I wouldn't listen to. It's only that second half where I said I like. I really do like this bit where I would actually remember it. Does its job. The stage itself is fine. It fits well with Amy and her styling and the stage itself. It's perfectly passable. I don't think it's that bad, to be honest. It's just I know I would forget it, which is sad, but compared to the other songs anyway. I love this song. I'll tell you why in a minute. But I will say we need more songs like this. This is so good. This is so good. And it keeps going. I think this is also one of the longer ones as well. Still going, it's so good. So that's where it loops, about the 1 minute 50 mark. I adore this, and it's so hard for me to pick where to place this because of obviously it's an Act Two theme and it sounds nothing like Act One. But I actually prefer this over Act One. I the reason why I adore this so much is because it sounds like it's straight out of 3D Blast from the Saturn. Like it sounds like Saturn era Sonic, which is so unique sounding, and is a style of music that I think has been long forgotten and really deserves to come back. Like heavy piano based songs, very dramatic, but it just is such a beautiful song. I think it's one of the best on in the game. But I don't want to put it in S. I want to put it in S tier, but I also don't want to because then it would be unfair compared to say like the other zones, whereas like Act Two sounds nothing like Act One. But I might put it as a really low S tier. It's such a beautiful song. There's nothing like it in like in the game at all. And I feel like if there was an Act One to this, like if it got remixed to like an Act One, it would be so good. It'd be so good. I'm breaking my rules here. I have to put it in an S. I don't think it's fair to put it any lower than a low S. I would put it higher if it was an Act One theme, but I can't bring myself to put it any lower than that. Especially if I want to have more atmospheric songs like that put into games, like the classic games again. It's so beautiful. 100% would recommend you guys listen to that full. It's one that I'm going to be really excited to listen to on like a speaker, like a proper nice big set of speakers. It's just it's one of those songs where yes, it's not as upbeat, yes, it's not as funky or anything, but it's so atmospheric, and you just sit down and think. It's one of those songs that also feel like will help you write and like process things a lot more. I think it's really underrated. I love this. It's such a good song. I don't need to do anything, then do this. Sorry, Pinball Carnival, please move. Thank you. This is my favourite song in the entire game. I know I said Pinball Carnival was my favourite zone, because it is as a package, but Sand Sanctuary as a level I love. But this music, I have not been able to stop playing this. It's so good. And when it goes, I always do like a little ukulele, like air ukulele thing. And it's also cool because this was hinted at in the Trio of Trouble animation, which is so cool. This bit was. Oh, T has done such a stellar job with this, man. Especially this bit. I always put this song on. I have not been able to put this song down ever since it came out. This is just the perfect song. I adore this. This is so good. Like it's such a better song than Serdopolis. You have no idea. I was so worried that when I saw a sand stage that it would be oil desert or the ducks again or the slowness of Sandopolis. I don't mind Sandopolis, but it's not a song I turn on and listen to. This is a song I know I'm always going to listen to for years and years and years, for however long I go. This is a modern classic song, one that will always be remembered. It is just perfect. There is nothing wrong with this song at all, in my opinion. It is just perfect. It is perfection. You've outdone yourself. This is probably one of my favorite songs from you, like at all, including like your stuff before doing stuff for Sonic, and Shredder's Revenge is very up there. But this is Chef's Kiss. Chef's Kiss, amazing. Right, I'm gonna be back in a second. I need to go and get a drink because my throat is crying out. So I will be back in a second. Right, I am back. Whew. Right, back to main overlay. But yeah, Sand Sanctuary is just the best song. One of my favourite songs in the series in general. Like, it's so good. So good. This is another one where it's a bit eh, if you ask me. Um, it does its job. It's just I know what it's trying to do. Obviously, it's trying to be really slow and it works. But as something that is, especially compared to Ivy and Vision, it doesn't feel like it has its own identity a little bit. I don't. It just it's a B tier. It's forgettable. I prefer Water over it, but it's definitely not bad, not poorly made or anything like that. It's just there. Okay, here's the controversial stuff. I love this song. I know I'm one of the few people, but you know what? I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love it when a stage's theme. This is how it should be, but I love it when a stage's theme just fits and is made for what the stage is. There's a lot of zones throughout this series history where I think the songs can sound good, or I can think the songs sound bad, but they don't relate back to the actual stage. If this was if this exact sort of style of Mega Drive sound was on any other stage, I'm like, I really don't like this. I think it doesn't fit. But I think this is the one stage that I feel like it actually works for because it's mechanical. It's the whole thing's a press, you know. It's got that very like grating music which fits so well for the stage, and it doesn't hurt your ears in my opinion. I've heard some people compare it to Sonic Spinball Options music. It's nowhere near as bad as that. Like, come on, you can't listen to the Sonic Spinball OS option music, sorry. You can easily listen to this, and that's, I think, doing a horrible disservice to Jun Sonoe in my opinion. Saying it's as bad as that is unfair and it's just not true. You can say you don't like it, but don't say it's as bad as that because perfectly listenable. And in my opinion, it's one of my favourites from the entire game. It's not S tier, but in my opinion, it's really up there with. I think I do prefer Ivy, but it's up there with Sky Temple and Lagoon City. It is just below high A tier. I think it gets way too much hate for what it is and what it does. Can it be improved on? Yes, but when I've heard remixes of it, it loses that the edge it has. You know, it's very. This sounds very mechanical, and that's why I feel like it works perfectly for the stage. And when people remix it, they get rid of that edge, and I feel like you're losing the part of the soul of the song. And like I said, any other stage, I wouldn't be happy with it. If this is how like the main menu music sounded, I would like, no, this needs to change. It's bad. But they clearly thought about it, and it works. It works for Press Factory Act 1, 100%. And I will die on this hill, 100%. I think I don't know if it's in this playlist, but there is a version of this Emerald Power, the extra one, which I'm just gonna say I've never used. Never used the extra power. I barely used the Emerald Powers to begin with, but I've never ever used the extra power. Um, but there's a different version of the extra power, the beta version. Actually, I think I do prefer. But here's a hot take. This is not. I feel like there should have been a different song for the extra, because I feel like this would have fit perfectly as Speechu's music. Because that's the one thing I will actually go out on my way and say I hate about Sonic Superstars is how they handled Speechu's. It sounds awful when you get Speechu's. Mania, you had your own jingle, and it sounded great. Even in the classics, they sped up the music, but it pitch shifted a little bit. It just sounded better because it was simpler in how it was made. But in a lot of ways, in Sonic Superstars, it sounds like a lot of the music is skipping, and it just sounds so low quality. So I feel like this extra power ups music should have been the Speed Shoes music, because I think it fits perfectly as Speed Shoes. Saying that though, do I have extra power there is? I I'm gonna put it in C. I'm gonna put it as a high C. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's terrible. I feel the same way about it. Really, is the main menu theme where it's passable, it's serviceable, but it could have been improved. This is also another good piece of music. Hmm. Okay, so I'm gonna put Act Two. I'm gonna. Where am I gonna put Act Two? I'm gonna put Act Two in B tier, but I'm gonna put it below Bridge Island, but above the Powers, purely because I don't think it's fine. I think if it was extended, it repeats a bit too much, and it feels a little bit all over the place. I do like the sound; it all sounds fine in terms of like the instrumentation, everything, all that sort of stuff. I don't think it's as strong as Press Factory Act One, but obviously it makes a bit more sense because obviously the factory has actually blown up, so it makes a little bit of sense why it's not as prevalent. But I feel like it would have been a little bit better that was like that. But I will say I appreciate Act Two sounding very similar to Act One in terms of the melody. I appreciate that. Again, one of the actual few stages that does that, which I think is a crime to be honest. All of the Act One and Act Two should do that. All the zones with two acts should do that. But I don't like it as much as Act One. I think it's fine. It's fine in stage. I think it's perfectly passable. It's not boring. It's just it exists. It's too short, and if you're actually listening to it on its own, not a fan really. So that's why I put it bang in the middle of B tier. Right, Supersonic. Easy A tier. Actually prefer the invincibility theme, purely because if we're comparing it to their past versions, so invincibility themes of the past, I think Superstars is up there with like one of the best. if you're talking about supersonic themes of the past, I think Mania did a better job. And I think it's better than the original classics, so like Sonic 2 and Sonic 3, because they were very repetitive. But I think it is a little bit of a step down in terms of, like, comparing it to Mania. I do like that there's the Superstars theme in it, I do like that. But then it repeats a bit too quick. I love Mania's theme because it sounds like its own piece, but like a really powerful piece. Of course, it does repeat a little bit in that as well. I just think Mania and the Sonic 3 beta super theme, if I remember correctly, I actually prefer them over Supersonic from this game. But what they did with Supersonic's theme is still really good. Hence, it's in like top 8 here. It's just a bit, if you compare it to previous versions, like I said, it's my third favourite probably of the classics. But it's a good job. Nice piece, really well made. Nice, lots of layers in there. It's a good song. I just prefer the title screen and the invincibility music just a little bit more. What a step up from the travesty that was the early boss theme and the mini boss theme. I'm not a crazy fan of it. I like it. So, where am I going to put this? So this is the late boss theme, which I think actually only gets like used once or twice, which is so sad. Late boss, here it is. I'm going to put this in A tier. I'm actually going to put it in A tier for the pure fact that it actually sounds like a boss theme. I still think there's a lot of themes in the past that are better than this. And it does sound a bit forgetful in comparison. But as a theme itself, I think it does its job. It's what I want. It's sort of what I wanted from the other ones, where it's like very upbeat, but puts you on edge, and it doesn't repeat every 5 seconds. I do think the backing's a bit all over the place and whatever, and it doesn't sound like an Eggman boss theme or like a Sonic boss theme for like what I mean. It doesn't sound menacing enough. It's like halfway there. Hence why I've put in. I'm gonna put it in B. I'm gonna put it in B. And I'm also going to put the bullet power in B as well. Because now I think about it, I do prefer Pinball Carnivore Act Fruit over it. The late boss theme is not a bad song. I feel like with more refinement, it could be great. With different instruments, it could be great. It's almost there. It just needs to be put back in the oven for like an extra 15 minutes on gas mark 9. Really get it cooked. It's just that showed like, hey, it is a big improvement. It is a big improvement. I would actually listen to that. Like, it doesn't annoy me hearing that in game, whereas the other ones are just bleh. So good. That was good. Haven't heard this. Talk to you later, Amy. Hope you have a good night. Gotta be honest, not a fan of this. Doesn't fit the stage, really. I don't think this fits. It sounds a bit all over the place. Like, at points, I was listening to the backing and it sounds so disjointed, like disconnected, which is the last thing you want from a song. But it's missing that, like, grungy sound, like the mechanical sound I loved from Act 1 and sort of from Act 2. Now, the question is, do I prefer... I think I prefer Act 2 over Act Fruit. So I think I'm going to have to... I'm going to put it in C. I'm going to put it below the main menu theme. As sad as that is, I don't like that, really, that much. I prefer it over the world map theme and all those, so it's not going in D tier. Oh, this song. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this one. It kind of goes with the zone, with the fact that it's really just existing. I don't like Golden Capital as a zone. You know, the fact that they finally used the beta Sonic 1 loop styling with the sun on it and they used it for this zone makes me so sad. We don't need another pinball stage, you know? It's essentially just a reskinned carnival stage. And you know, the level design itself doesn't annoy me. It's just, it's so slow and sad sounding. Like, it just is there. It doesn't feel magical, which is, I feel like what everyone thought of, like how magical that zone from like that beta drawing could have been. Whereas this is just like there. There's nothing special about it. Even the boss was a bit like naff. The boss from this stage is probably one of my least favourite. So I, Golden Capital Act 1 is such a bleh. If the feeling of golden syrup when you pour it had a song tied to it, it would be this. Where you're like, oh my god, I like golden syrup, here we go, let's put it on. But it's going to take 15,000 years just to pour it onto your pancakes. Like, it just, and you can see it, you know, it's like, I know it's going to be, like, I know I'm going to like it, but when you get into that process of pouring it, you're just like, I just want it now, I want this over and done with. And Golden Capital Act 1, I just wanted it over and done with. It was an okay zone. It existed. The gimmicks themselves weren't new. They're from, like, every carnival stage ever and Lost World of all places. It's just really uninspired. It's crazy saying that for a zone that's based entirely off of the beta screenshot from Sonic 1. Like, the beta drawing, sorry. It's so weird, because I would have loved... They should have another crack at it, in my opinion. Not the next game, but like at the future. But like fully make it magical. Make it like a space stage or something where like you're going through space and like, or like it's you're in like like in a different dimension, like a phantom, like you know how like you get transported for a chaos emerald or like a phantom ruby or something, and it's like all psychedelic and cool. Look, that's where that styling would work. I feel like make it just crazy and magical. I think I don't like this as much as Act One, which I what I'm not a fan of, and it makes me so sad. I've just realised because if you Act Knuckles from Mania was such a good song, fit his character perfectly. You know, even had references to like future games in the timeline technically. So you got like the Knuckles rap, you got him from SA1's, like even like Sonic 3 and Knuckles had references in like how the music was made. This doesn't feel like a Knuckles theme or like space song. Nor did the Amy one really, but I feel like that still fit her more than any other character. I feel like the act Sonic fits more for Knuckles than Knuckles' stage theme, you know? But I think it's so repetitive, it's quite boring actually. I hate saying that, but it just is. I think I'm gonna have to put this in D tier. I prefer it over the world map because the world map was so repetitive and boring. But the Golden Capital is just it's okay in how it's made. It's just it doesn't get going, and for a character like Knuckles, where you know where he you're trying to glide, climb walls, and the whole point of it is to glide from place to place, and it's a more platform heavy type of stage. The music doesn't complement that whatsoever. Like this style of music, in my opinion, for that type of stage, doesn't belong in a Sonic game, in my opinion, because it's so slow and so slouchy. Is the best way I could describe it. The song sounds like it's slouching. And it loops so quickly as well, which is a crime. I actually prefer this over Act 1. This is also one of the really weird things about like these synth Mega Drive weird like things. I don't understand why. Clearly, this song was made for that Sonic 1 sound, like the drum, right? This isn't the drum. This isn't the Sonic 1 2 drum sample. It's close, but it's not. So, like, what's the point in going through and using that particular drum sample in previous songs, but then for this, you use something that is similar but different? I just feel like it's weird using these synth drums, or like they sound synthy. Like, why not just use, if you're gonna use Mega Drive stuff? Why not just go full on? I don't get it. It's so weird, and then, like, of all zones, why do it in Golden Capital? Like, why change it up now? Like, this zone's music is better than Act One. Not by a lot, but I prefer it. So I am gonna just put that there. It still sounds slouchy. It still sounds like slow, but I prefer it. It's got a happier tone compared to the other two. I don't think I have this actually. No, I don't. I actually prefer the song for Fang than his other theme. This would have worked so much better than his other theme, which was, oh, I have nightmares over that still. Hey, how you doing? Oh my god, my god. Hey Josie, how you doing? Oh my god, let me have a drink real quick. How you doing, man? Yeah, this sounds so much better. Like, I think the instrumentation, like the actual instruments used, I don't like. It's very synthy and very like meh. But it's a far cry. It's so much better than the other themes I had, man. It just shows you how disjointed this is. But this sounds so much better. I don't have this either. Okay, now onto the final zone, Cyberstation. Which I actually do really like this. I watch it on Ultra HD 4K triple monitor, ultra wide, ultra curve, 176Hz battle pass exclusive. Nice. That's the perfect way. That is how you are meant to watch this. Like anyone else who isn't doing that needs to take notes. I don't mind this. It's not my favourite Final Zone theme. Far from it. But it does its job. It's perfectly passable. It has the problem with repetition a bit too much, but nowhere near to like the early boss or the Fang boss whatsoever. I think this is a good stab at a final zone theme. So I think I'm gonna have to put that as. Oh no, wait, Cyberstation. I'm stupid. It's not the final zone. What am I on about? Cyberstation. I need to listen to that again. I was going into it thinking it was the final zone. It's not. What am I on about? The final zone is Egg Fortress. Right, let's go back through this again. Okay. Now I can't believe I fumbled that so hard. Now that I remember what the zone actually is, I really do like the stage. I think it's actually one of the. Do I prefer it over? I think I don't. I'm gonna put it in between Sky Temple and Lagoon City. It's nice. It works with the stage. It's actually a really fun song with the stage. If it was any other one, I'd be like, yeah. And especially when you hear the beta versions, this is a massive jump. Oh, what did you get? I'm actually kind of curious what you got. What did you get? Oh, here's the Cyberstation boss. One of the best themes in the entire game. This music's good. Oh, nice! You got your own account. Nice. Congrats, man. I really like this song, man. It's so good. Sad thing is, there is actually. Let me go. There is a beta version of that. Well, an unused, let's say an unused version of that. Which I think is 1,000 times better. If this was actually in the game, this would be S tier for me. Oh, nice. 2 factors always good. Oh, this is so much better. Right, let's actually get back on track to the actual things I've got on the tier list. Now on Frozen Base Zone Act 1, which is a bit of a weird zone theme. I'll get onto why in a minute, which it does really confuse me. So my problems with this is that it's doesn't sound that good, to be honest, in terms of like instruments. It loops a bit too much. But the thing I find really strange is that it has the Sonic Superstars motif in it, which no other zone has. To my, I feel like me remember. Oh, Jesus, can't speak. That I can remember. There's no other stage that has that. So I don't know why they just randomly added it into this zone. It doesn't really fit because it doesn't really allow this zone to have its own identity. If it was later down the stage, like the theme of it, then I'd be maybe okay with it. It'd still be a bit strange and weirded out by it. It's just weird that it's been put in a snow stage of all things. And I'm not a massive fan of it. I'm gonna be honest. Frozen Base Act 1 is probably a... Do I prefer it? Yeah, I prefer it over Golden Capital any day. But it's just another meh song. Like, it's weird, it's short, it's just... It's strange. So here's the thing I want to say about this. I like what they were going for here. I miss that Mega Drive twang. It just... I don't know, there's just something about this song. It doesn't sound that great. And it sounds completely different in like how it feels compared to Act 1. And it just doesn't feel like a snow stage theme either. Like, if this was... let's say if this was Press Factory Act Fruits theme, where it has nothing to do with the stages, like Act 1 and Act 2 pieces of music, then fine. I wouldn't be as like confused because it has that crunchiness which would work. For a snow stage though, I don't get this. But the weird thing is, it sounds like the most authentic Mega Drive like sounding piece of music that we have in this entire game. I can hear this coming out of a Mega Drive. Which confuses me even more. This piece just is confusion in general. I don't understand it. It's not bad, it's just... eh. This, on the other hand, I love. This is done by, oh god, Fantasy Zone, not Fantasy Star. Fantasy Zone's composer from like 1989, maybe? Who also worked on Frontiers. They came back and did this. I love this theme so much. This is, in my opinion, this is one way to bring Mega Drive music, like sounding music, back into newer games. So good. It's just Fantasy Zone sounding, and I love that. It's a different style, it's great. It fits the zone well. It's so good. I wouldn't call it one of my favourite out the entire game, but it's up there. I love this. It's the the pinball stage from Frontiers was one of my favourite pieces in that entire game, and this composer just knows how to make amazing sounding Mega Drive music, like modern day. It's just great. I love it so much. I can't put it on the same level as Sanctuary, Pinball Carnival. Like they are all perfect. Um, I think I'm gonna have to put it as. Oh, I did do throw Act Tails. Act Tails goes here. Frozen Bay's boss 100% has to go to A tier. I think I'm gonna have to put it in front of Supersonic, but in between the Invincibility theme, just because I think I prefer the Invincibility theme just a little bit more. This is also pretty good. I think it's better than a lot of the boss music. It's pretty good. I don't know if I would. Oh, do I prefer it over the late boss? I do prefer it over the late boss theme. I prefer it over Pinball Carnival Act Through. That Speed Jungle Act, Sonic and Act 2 I prefer. You know what? I'm going to put that in. Um, Wait, where did I put Frozen Base? Act 2. So let's put Act 2. I moved the wrong ones around again, I'm stupid. So the boss theme, I'm going to put. Do I prefer it over Sky Temple? Type Station. I prefer it over Lagoon City, so I'm going to put it there. It's a mid. Mid A. 100%. It's a good song. It's just. Oh, now we come to Egg Fortress Zone, which I actually really like. This is going to be a hard one to place, that's for sure. I think it could be better, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely one of the best songs. I think it would have been better if there wasn't like an 8-bit sound to it, if it had a more punchy main instrument for the main melody. It's not bad. I definitely prefer a lot of the previous Final Zone themes, but it's pretty good. Probably. I'm going to put it low A. I don't think it's bad. I just think there's a lot of other songs that are better than this. Now this, on the other hand, I actually like a lot more because they've made it sound like the first song's reversed. It's better in game. I mean, that's the entirety of the song. That's the one thing I have a problem with, is how quick it repeats. And that's a lot of songs in this game, is how quick they repeat is a big issue for me. That's going to be hard to place. I think actually for Act 1, purely because it doesn't repeat as much. Oh, that's so hard to pick where to go. But I just think both Speed Jungles are way better than those two. I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with it. Gonna have to. I actually really like this boss music. It does its job, you know. I actually really like the boss fight as well. Not this boss fight, actually Fang's boss fight. This is just good. God, I love this bit as well. I love this. This sounds so good. It's still going. I can't believe how long this is, man. What? So I'm gonna pause instead of just letting this play on because I want to talk about it. So like, this is a prime example of why I actually like. This is what the other themes should have sounded like. It's wild that, you know, there's the themes we got for earlier on in the game which sound just muffled. They sound like they're using not the best Mega Drive sounding instruments, and the melodies themselves, they don't pose a threat. They're very just existing. They don't give off any sort of threat. And then there's this, which does. It has multiple phases in terms of like the different pieces, like different bits of the music, and there's a slowdown section, there's a harmonic section, and I love it. It's so cool. There's nothing wrong with this, man. Like, I wouldn't say it's my favorite to like I, it's not my compared to like other previous titles. It's not my favorite, to be honest. But I don't know. It's very. it's such an improvement over what we had in the past. It's very like threatening, weirdly upbeat, but it works as a final boss. I wish it was a bit more. I don't know. I don't say more in depth because it's got like various layers in the background, especially with, like the I don't know what you call it, but I call it like the roller coaster effect. There's like lots of ups and downs in the background. I do like the choir, like the voices in the background. That sounds really cool. It sounds great. It's it's cool that it starts off with like one version of the melody and then it goes up to like a slightly changed one. I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. Um, Excuse me. So where would I put that? I think it's better than a lot of the bosses, to be honest. I think it's better than Supersonic's theme. Do I think it's better than the Frozen Base Act 2 though? Yeah, probably. I'm gonna put it in high A. Definitely gonna put it in high A. I think title screen and invincibility have a much better grasp at what they're doing, but the final boss theme is really good. And then we get this. I'm not a fan of this, I'm going to be honest with you. I've never heard the time attack menu before, but I'm going to put it as a D tier, unfortunately. That was very repetitive, very forgetful, very just bland. Just bleh. Not a fan of this. Then here we have the redemption of Fang, but still upset about how he was handled. A great final boss theme. It's weirdly Sonic Advance sounding. It sounds like oh, what's that stage? Cyber something. It's like sort of like an Advance 2 slash Advance 3 type of piece of music, which is really cool. I really like this theme. It's so cool. Oh, so good. I just think it does its job so well. And it's so annoying that we we have to put up with Fang's theme from earlier. Like, why not just? It's this game's OST is strange. It's so strange. Like, again, on paper the melody was okay with Fang's theme. It just needed to not be repeated, and the sound, you know, the instruments just weren't my cup of tea. Not at all. This, on the other hand, is great. This is so good. I'm gonna have this is I think I do prefer this actually over the final boss theme. Fang Mark 2 is actually a really fun boss. It's probably my favourite boss in the entire game. I love it. It's so good. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. At first, when I was playing, I was like, okay, this is fine. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to make like the very chill, like a new take on the Sonic One special stage music. I just don't think it's as nice. Again, it's not poorly made. It's got good instruments, and it's just something about it. It feels really off, and it's short as well, which is another thing. Was like, I kind of wish that they didn't confine themselves to just such a short melody. They kind of had to do that for hardware limitations on the Mega Drive, but we don't have that anymore. So like, try and make it as like good as possible, you know. And I just think it's a bit meh. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's like nearly as bad as any like or as bad as any of these. I think it's a high C. I can't put it in B because there's parts of those songs I actually really really like, whereas the bonus stage is just strange. It makes you feel dizzy, and it makes like I guess that kind of makes sense of the stage because you are turning all the way. But I think I actually would have preferred the Sonic 4 special stage music in this bonus stage. Mania stage corner. Okay. And that's it. Oh no. Okay, it actually has its own B section. Okay. I don't mind that. I think it's much better than the main menu theme. It's not great, but it's not. I think I prefer the bonus stage music over this. It's not bad. It's just forgettable. I think it's way better than the main menu theme and all these other ones. Especially these last two, like the early boss and the Fang boss. But I think that does its job pretty well. I think I haven't heard that one before because I've never played online, so I think it could be improved 100%. But for what they have done and what they have given us, is not bad. Do you know the really sad thing is? I can already say from hearing this, this should have been the main menu theme. Even if it was just their exact same. They sound exactly the same. This should have been the main menu theme. This theme's way more upbeat and more friendly sounding than the main menu theme we have currently. But if they actually redone this, I feel like they could have had a very Sonic 3 slash Sonic Mania data select style feel with this song. It's not bad. I can't put it in C tier. That's probably got to be low B tier, I think. That's not bad. It's not great. It's not bad though. Haven't heard this yet, so ooh. I don't mind this actually. Okay, this bit's a bit, yeah. I don't mind that actually. I think that will also probably, what was that? Is that survival? That's not too bad. Where would I put that though? I think I prefer it actually over the battle mode 100% menu. I don't. Do I prefer it over Press Factory Act 2? Yes. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. That's not a bad song. Again, with more tinkering, I feel like that could be from a not bad song to a pretty decent good song. And I like the twang. I don't know if it was that's a proper Mega Drive sound, but it sounded cool. Do I have race? No, I don't. Ooh. I like how this is sounding already. Okay. I really like this. That's really cool. That's a really cool theme. Why is nobody else talking about that? That's got to be an A for me. Do I prefer it over Egg Fortress though? I think I do. You know what? I think I prefer it over Act Two. I like Act One. This is short, but it kind of makes sense that it's a mini game. It's not like a full thing. I'm gonna have to keep it there. I know some people won't like that decision, but I'm gonna have to. I really like this. I'm surprised nobody else is remixing this. It's really upbeat. Haven't done that yet. No doubt. No doubt. Here we go. I don't remember this song when I was playing the true final boss. I don't know if that was because I was concentrating or if it's just kind of forgettable. I think I might know what the answer is. I'm gonna give it some time. It's kind of forgettable, isn't it? Let's be honest here. I mean, if we compare that to Mania's final boss, it does not hold a candle up next to that. Even like Doomsday's better, in my opinion. And that's really short. Like, this is clearly meant to sound quite menacing. It just doesn't. Doesn't feel like. I feel like Fang and the final boss was way more like impactful sounding than the true final boss. I'm gonna. I hate putting it here. I think I prefer Golden Capital Act 2 over this, which is wild. I know it shouldn't be like that, but that's so unfortunately forgettable. Like that's it's not badly made, but like it's the true final boss. This is something you're meant to remember. There's a reason why people remember Doomsday. There's a reason why people remember the final boss from Mania, and there's a reason why that music is played so much. Mania's final boss music is so good, whereas this is a bit. it's a bit generic. I hate using that word, but it is. It doesn't feel impactful. And I'm putting the credits theme here, mainly because that is my least favourite song in the entire game, because it absolutely, and I hate using this word, but it butchers some of my favourite songs. But I will say this, I'm actually really happy that they brought back the classic style, I call them montage ending themes. I love that about the classics and Generations, you know? But it just doesn't sound good here. It sounds so muffled and just not good. And it ruins some of the songs I really like Sand Sanctuary, Bridge Island. Like, it's not fair to do that to some of the songs. And I honestly feel like they should continue doing the credits theming like that with the montage. But either you remix all of them to fit into this new song, or okay, if we're going for the next game, because I'm going to say there's all the OST for the next 2D game is going to be brilliant, so there's not going to be any like mismatching. Yeah, I am done. Finally, just got done. But I will say, like, either remix the thing into its own style so it fits all together, or have it all be cohesive, as I keep on saying. But the way the credits is at the moment is not good. And I'm not, no disrespect to any of the musicians that works on it or anything like that. It's just these are my opinions. I'm a dumb idiot who enjoys Sonic Superstars, but I don't know much about music. I'm just saying what I like and what I don't like. And I'm sure every single person put their heart and soul into all of their tracks. It's just I have to say how I feel about them, you know. But I don't intend on making anyone sad or upset about if there are particular songs or anything like that. It's just I just wanted to say my opinions and why I feel the way that I do about them, you know, and where you guys could improve maybe in the future. That's it. But I do feel like the highs of the Superstars OST are bloody ginormous, but the lows are pretty far low, you know, which does impact the game and does impact some of the stages, 100%. But anywho, that was. Let's go to that. That was the Sonic Superstars tier list, and I'm very happy with the outcome I got. Happy with all the placements. It was very fun to do this kind of stuff. Mainly just use this stream to get back into the swing of things, really, because I want to try out a lot of fan games I've missed, like and mods. So I need to, next time we'll be checking out Sonic Forces Overclocked. At some point, the new Sonic Overture demo, which I really want to try out. But before that, we'll play the original demo because I have that on my hard drive here, and also the Sonic Legends demo and a couple other fan games I can't remember right now, like Sonic Test Labs, for instance. I need to try out a lot of these games, and then comment about them on the Sage 2022 video. Sorry, 2023 video, whenever that comes out. But yeah, that is it for tonight. My voice is dying, but I had a lot of fun. But thank you for being here, Flames. I very much appreciate it, and donating. That really does mean a lot. Same with Dave, same with Joseph, appreciate you. Same with Joyride and Productivity. You guys all rock. Appreciate all of you guys being here. But yeah, with that out of the way, I'm going to give my voice a bit of a rest. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next stream. Take care. Oh yeah, and hopefully either by next stream or the stream after, I would actually have fixed the overlay and make everything better, essentially. Anywho, talk to you later.